Welcome to our step-by-step instructional video on how to properly build a hydraulic hose assembly using the Parker Parkrimp system. Whether you're new to hose assembly or need a quick refresher, this video will walk you through each part of the process to ensure a safe, reliable, and leak-free assembly every time. We'll begin by identifying the key components you'll need, including the hose and fittings. From there, we'll show you how to use available resources to select the correct die based on your hose and fitting specifications. Then, we'll walk through how to prepare your hose, insert your fittings, and complete the crimp using the Parker Parkrimp 1 machine. Proper hose and fitting selection is vital for ensuring safety and operational efficiency. Using the stamp method helps. STAMP is an acronym for size, temperature, application, media, and pressure. Size refers to a hose's inner diameter, ID, measured in 1/16 of an inch. When choosing a hose, it's essential to consider its size and dimensions, as these factors influence flow rate, flexibility, and fitting compatibility. Temperature affects hose performance and lifespan. High temperatures can degrade the material, causing it to harden and crack, while low temperatures can make the hose stiff and brittle, leading to cracks and ruptures. Application: outline the hose's use in hydraulic or pneumatic systems. Key questions include its purpose, usage location, and environmental conditions. Consider factors like minimum bend radius, routing, and exposure to abrasion. Media refers to the type of fluid or gas flowing through the hose. Hoses are made from materials like synthetic rubber, thermoplastic, or metal, each offering different properties such as flexibility, chemical resistance, and temperature resistance. Pressure is a crucial consideration when selecting hose products. Key points include maximum working pressure, the highest safe operating pressure for the hose. Burst pressure, the pressure at which the hose fails. Velocity, high speeds can lead to internal abrasion and shorten the hose's lifespan. By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge and confidence to build a quality hose assembly that meets high SPECO standards and keeps your system running smoothly.
Today we have a diesel fuel line for a customer we're going to make up. We're going to start for identification of our fitting here. We're going to get our hose length and the proper hose we're going to be using. First things first, we have the fitting on the end. We have the inside of here is a 37-degree flare. Now, to appropriately get the right size of this fitting, we're going to use a section of our plugs, caps and plugs that we have. This one here is going to be the number 10. We're going to grab our number 10 plug. It looks to be the same size on both ends. We're going to make sure our plug fits. Please screw in our plug all the way and make sure we have a good seat. If you feel like it's locking without being tightened down, that is definitely going to be the one for you. Threads in pretty good. Now we identified that is a number 10 JIC. Now sometimes you'll find on your hose fittings that they actually mark the -10 on some of the fittings. Right. Now we have our identification of that. We know it's a -10 JIC. We're going to get our overall length next. Going to the end of our table, which is going to be our 0 mark on our tape measure. Flatten out the hose. Make sure we have complete length. Now if we step on here, we are about 40.5 inches overall length from end to end. So this customer hose is showing a 5/8, half-inch inside diameter at 1,250 PSI. And we have our overall length at 40.5 inches. I'm going to put a little bit of our P80 lube inside. We're going to shake out a little bit of the excess. We're going to get our insertion depth. So our insertion depth here, we're going to come to the end of the bevel of this fitting where our hose is going to stop. And then here is going to be our actual insertion. So we got to the end of the fitting. We're going to make our insertion. We're going to make a T. So that fitting will cross over. We'll still have our T line, knowing that we're fully inserted. A little push. And once again, we should have full insertion, showing our T and our line. Now we're going to measure our hose at 40.5 inches. End to end. So end of our fitting here. I'm laying down to our 0 mark, which is going to be the end of this table. End of the table. Now we're going to find our insertion depth and our cut length. Once again, your hose is going to stop at the end of this bevel. That's going to be our cut length. Then we're going to have our insertion depth at the end of the crimp. Okay? We're going to cut on our cut length. Please remember to have your proper PPE, safety glasses with you. Made our cut. We're going to spray air to get out any excess debris that may be in there.
To select the correct die for your hose and fitting combination, we recommend using Parker's online resource, CrimpSource. To access it, go to www.crimpsource.com using any web browser. No login is required. Once you're on the site, use the drop-down menus to select your hose series and fitting series. After you've made your selections, CrimpSource will instantly provide you with the correct die part number. You can even download a PDF spec sheet or print it for easy reference at your workstation. Using CrimpSource ensures you're always working with the latest specs directly from Parker.
Our 387 TC is going to be our color yellow. Also, each die will have a series marked on top. So here is our 43 series die, -10 for 5/8. Now on the inside of these dies, you can see where the fitting is going to be sitting on the grooves. So the bottom of our fitting is going to sit at the bottom of this groove here, which is going to give us a great seat to crimp. Inside your crimper, we want to make sure that you have enough grease so we're not running metal to metal when we crimp. Guys, be placed in like so. I like to press down on both ends to make sure our die is seated flat inside. Once your die is reaching this surface area of your bowl, then we know we have a good seat. Okay. So we're going to need two things. We're going to need our back plate and our front plate when it comes to this type of crimper. To release this one, there should be a pin. Just pull down, and it will drop down in place. Now, one step becomes very critical before you crimp. Like so, I'm going to place my fitting and hose inside the die. Then I'm going to push down. That plate that we showed you with the groove should seat right in here. We should not go past. That's a good seat, so we know we're good there. We're going to insert our front plate. Again, press down. Start on our crimper. Now, as you crimp down, we're going to take the pressure gauge up to about 2,500 PSI, hold it for 3 seconds, and we should have a good crimp. Pressure down. I have to give it just a smidge, make sure we're still seated. Next step, hose in my left hand. You always want to press up on the hose. Make sure we have a little grab on the fitting itself. Reason why we press up and not press down is because we do not want to pull that hose out of place. And you should have a full crimp on every crimp fitting, just like so. Still showing our insertion depth is good.
Back on CrimpSource, you can find the target crimp diameter and the allowable tolerance range. After you've completed the crimp, it's important to verify that the crimp is within spec. To do this, you'll need a digital or dial caliper. Here's how to properly measure the crimp diameter. Place the jaws of the caliper around the crimp fitting. Take two measurements, one at the top of the hex or round crimp and one at the bottom or within the grooves of the crimp fitting. Both measurements should fall within the tolerance range listed on CrimpSource. If they don't, the hose may need to be re-crimped or inspected for machine setup errors. And that wraps up our walkthrough on how to build a hose assembly using the Parker Parkrimp 1 system. Taking the time to follow each step carefully ensures a safe, high-quality assembly that performs reliably in the field. If you're ever unsure, remember to consult CrimpSource or reach out to your supervisor or team lead for support. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.